Hi everyone. So in this part of the video, I'm going to show you how to create AWS Glue job, Glue crawler, and also Glue database. So in here, when we go to the AWS console, we can go to the service and search for AWS Glue. And on the left hand side, you can see there's ETL jobs. When you click on it, it will open a so-called Glue Studio. So Glue Studio is where you can interactively write your code and also configure the glue job. So as you can see here, you have multiple ways to create jobs. For example, you can create using a visual ETL. You can use something like a notebook. Also, you can use something like a script editors. So in this example, I'm going to use a script editors. Okay, so when you click on it, you need to select the engine. So now, in Glue, the current version provides three kinds engine. So the first one they call a Python shell. Python shell is basically just the same as the normal Python script, and you got Ray, which is an engine that allows streaming and batch in processing in one kind of like just one code style. And then you have Spark for more large data process purposes. And you can upload your Python file straight away, or you can just start fresh. So if I try to create a script, it will create a template like this. And then you will have a different section. So you have the script section, you got the job detail section, run, data quality, schedule, and version control. So in this case, I'm going to select one of the demos that I've already created. So in this particular ETL job, it is quite simple. Basically, what it does is actually taking something from S3 buckets, sample JSON file, and then convert this JSON file into a CSV file, and then write it to another location, which is in the target to path. So it's nothing complicated. This one I can put it on GitHub, but it's just a very simple job to show how you can create one and execute one job. And the next step, so before we move on to other section, I would like to introduce Glue crawler and Glue data catalog. So over here on the left hand side, you can see there's a data catalog, and you got two main component, crawlers and database. So what is a crawler? So crawler is basically a tools that it will crawl through the data that you have, either structured, semi-structured, or unstructured inside your a specific location like S3. So for example, over in this crawler, I can specify which data source I would like to crawl through. In this case, it's a S3 bucket of this name, and then this folder, and then crawl through every files under this folder. And then the result of this crawler will be saved inside a data catalog database. So in the data catalog database, you can have multiple table inside it, and then you can have this table storing the metadata or the schema data type of that particular file. Okay, I will try to create a new crawlers and the database to show you how to create one. So let's go to, so at first we need to create a database, because when you try to create a crawler, it will ask you to specify a database as a target. So on the database here, you can create a database, just testing demo. Okay, create database. That's easy to do, to create one data catalog database. And then the next thing is to create a crawler. You can go to crawler, create crawler, just testing demo. And then it will ask you whether the data is already mapped to Glue tables. In this case, it's not yet, so you need to pick a data source. So most of the time it can be multiple different kind of like a data source, but I'll just use S3 since it's the most simple one. Yeah, and then this one can be skip, So you just need to choose which path you want to crawl through. So you can either crawl through all the buckets or a particular folders, and then you can specify if you want to crawl everything. So if you just double click it, and then this is accepted now. So you have all these choices. You can crawl through all subfolders or just new subfolders only. This will, because if you are executing like a daily ETL jobs when only new data needs to be processed, then you can use this kind of like a new subfolder as a selection. Okay, yeah. So then next, now you need to select an IAM role. So if you are not familiar with IAM role, you can go to my IAM tutorial videos. However, this is just quickly to explain. So this is basically a kind of like a role that allows this particular Glue crawler as a service to have the permission to get data from, for example, S3 buckets. So I might have a role already, so just use Glue service role. Okay, or either you can create a new IAM role on the spot. Okay, so you can just ignore this too. And then here we need to choose the target database, the one that I've created. So testing demos, and then you can add all the prefix and then maximum table threshold, etc. And then you can select whether you want this crawler to be run only on demand or on the schedule, so hourly, daily, or weekly, for example. So I'll just put it on demand. Next, this is all the review, and then create crawler. Okay, right. So the crawler has been created. So what you can do next is to run the crawler. So the crawler is actually crawling this AWS demo2 source data bucket, I think. So here you got two files. You got JSON and then CSV file. Okay, so wait for a while. Okay, after 55 seconds, the crawler has completed. So we can have a look in the database, testing demos, what kind of data it generated. So it generated source data to table, and then it generated the schema. And if we click on the array, so you will see this this data is using a schema with 4 fields. Yeah, and then what kind of data type each field is having is listed here as well. So if I go here, source data 2, you can see the JSON data over here. And just to verify, if I go to the sample data to JSON file, I can use object action query with S3 select. So S3 select is just a function, tools that let you select, view the data inside your S3 buckets. So it support formats like CSV, JSON, or Parquet. So in this case, I have a JSON file here. So if I choose JSON, content as a document, and then select star from S3 object, limit 5. So I can execute this query, and you can see all this data coming back. So the thing is, some of the records has only 3 fields: ID, name, age, and some of them has all 4 fields. So basically the crawler will crawl to the files and determine all the fields that in records. So in this case, the maximum field it has is 4. So it's all these 4 will be stored inside this data catalog. Okay, so that's a very quick go through of crawlers and data catalog. So why do we need to use these two things? So the benefit of using crawlers and data catalog is that if you are working on something dynamic, so it means if you are you have developers providing a set of data to you, and sometimes it can add or remove data from the or scheme or fields from the data set. So by having the crawlers to scan periodically, checking the latest schema, it will allow you to dynamically get the latest data so that the job that taking the raw data won't be affected. So because it is using a dynamically created schema to process the data, we will see it in the script itself. So, and also it's a centralized way to manage all the metadata of your data source. So you can organize all this data inside a data catalog database and also table. So it kind of like and you will be able to see different crawlers run times, and then and what changes it will track all